Last time on the Half-Assed Podcast interweb style program.
Whoever wins, get a jersey from China.
In 6 to 10 weeks.
Maybe 6 months, who knows?
Yeah.
We now present the exciting conclusion, brought to you by Twitchy Larry's Sour Mash. Twitchy Larry's. If you ain't twitching, it ain't good mash.
That's what happened to my mom.
Definitely happens.
Waited like 6 months for the Steelers sweatshirt. Bitched and complained, and then her emails wouldn't go through to the company out of China, and she's like, oh, well, that's gone. And finally, she got a hold of somebody, I don't know if it was eBay or where she got it, and they refunded her cash, and the next day, the fucking thing showed up in the mail.
That's great.
I guess it was coming. Like, well, when the company's emails start getting returned to you, I think that's when you fucking give up.
That's kind of what happened with the Marco records that I got for us.
Oh, yeah? They took a while? And
No, I got the refund because I never got them. And then some lady just called me. She's like, oh, I live where you used to live, and I got 2 records in the mail with your name on it. And she gave it to me. I was like, oh, shit, I got all the money back for that. Sweet.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, that was just random. I was like, sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often anymore.
No, you've been picking anything up lately?
Like music, like vinyl wise?
Vinyl, yeah.
I've been looking at some. I wanted to get the first Foo Fighters album.
Oh, nice.
Like just the one from like 1995. Like I don't really listen to them, but
right, that's one of those that is like I should have that in my collection because someday it's
like
somebody's
I like,
gonna come. Right, I can play it. Anytime.
Song and shit.
Yeah, there's some good shit on there, and that first album's all him. Like he tracked every instrument himself.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much he ripped until I watched some shit the other day. I was like, oh, this guy's awesome.
I think he came up in DC playing with different punk bands, so he kind of played everything, I guess. I didn't know he was so badass until fairly recently myself.
Yeah,
I always thought it was cool, but it's like, whoa, total respect.
Well, I watched him on Hot Ones or whatever.
Okay.
David Grohl or whatever, and then I was like, oh shit, I guess I'll check out some of his songs. And then I saw him like all the performances live on Letterman and stuff, and I was like, oh, these guys like are legit.
Yeah, he's fucking good. What was it, a year or so ago? They were touring somewhere, and some city they were in was having like a big anti-gay thing. So he literally set up everything on the back of a flatbed, and they went by playing disco and like.
It's amazing.
Love who you want to love. Like, it was so fucking amazing.
Yeah,
like,
that
build to that
Everlong
man a statue.
They have that the video is great.
Yeah, and Learn to Fly with fucking Tenacious D in it.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking Dr.
You know what I did
played,
see for the first time yesterday was that Weezer on Letterman in 1995.
Oh, really? I think I've seen that.
Oh, you got to see it.
Yeah, that band's been through a hell of an evolution. Did you see the last thing they just did?
I listened to their newer album recently. They have a couple good songs on that. It just doesn't sound the same, you know.
My buddy sent me a thing yesterday. So what they're doing this year is they're going to put out 4 short EPs.
Okay.
One in every season. And they're going to be, so like on the equinox, they're going to release one for spring. And like they're going to base some shit on like Vivaldi's opera. And they're all going to be based on like different literature and shit. So it sounds interesting as hell.
Oh, I'm all for anything Weezer does.
Oh, he's a smart motherfucker. What did he?
Oh, yeah.
Because after their second album, he kind of fucking quit music and went to like Harvard.
Oh, yeah, for a long time. Oh, I sent you that Letterman thing on
nice.
Here, I think. But no, like this video this is so goddamn great. Like the bass, I love them because it's like straight up, it's like a 1990s band of your friends that you just walk in their garage and like, oh, you guys are gonna suck. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, oh, okay, you guys are gonna suck.
Yeah, that's when they still had Matt Sharp on bass, and yeah, he was fun.
Oh, wait till you see him on this. He goes crazy.
Oh yeah, he was fun.
He goes crazy. this performance was amazing. I was fucking dying when I was watching this.
Yeah, I fucking love. I never did see them with him.
What I really appreciate is how much like a lot of these like guys from the 90s bands, like they really sound how they sound in the studio too.
Right.
They
right.
really do.
That was,
yeah, when you get that up, let me know.
You still had to come up live, so.
Yeah. That's what the dude from Foo Fighters was saying. He was like, if you can kill it live, like, you'll make it. Like, just play live.
95, wow.
But yeah, who's the bass player?
Still Matt Sharp here.
Yeah, he goes nuts in this. Pretty interesting.
Well, I had a buddy of mine saw them when he was still with the band, and he said, well, the first time I saw them, they were insane. They jumped all over the place. They're doing flips and shit. And he said, and then the next time he saw them, he's like, they stood in their spots and nobody moved.
Interesting.
So, yeah, they've gone through a lot of evolutions.
Yeah, these guys look like your buddies in the 90s. Like, oh, yeah, you guys are going to be trash.
Right. Oh, they're good. They finally backed off his mic. Backup vocals were too high.
Yeah, it gets a lot better as it goes. The beginning was weird, I thought too.
Fucking power chords.
Oh yeah, he's getting it.
Well, that's good to know. Like if you're gonna play that song correctly, you gotta do it like that.
So interesting because it's like these guys didn't have social media. Like, where did they get their style? You know?
Yeah, just total fucking like they were the beginning of the fucking nerd rock deal. Fucking Nerf Herder coming out after them. This look like regular dudes. You can tell he needs glasses. You can see it when he doesn't have them.
He's like super anxious too.
Like, yeah. Man, so good. I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
He's a fucking showman.
That's how you play bass right there.
Right? Love their fucking drummer too. He had a side project, the Special Goodness.
Interesting.
He did the same thing I was saying with Grohl. The first the initial demos, I think there's an EP that came out and it's all him on every track. And then eventually he put together a band and got like legit guitarist and shit, and they re-recorded them, and it was you could tell the quote unquote quality of the playing was better.
Yeah.
But the other versions were better to me. I liked his sloppy drummer playing guitar sound.
Yeah, lately I've been really like appreciating different instruments. Like I've never really dove way too deep into that stuff, but lately
there's just so much interesting shit. Different ways people do stuff, and
it's so weird to me. You like talk to someone like what music, like you're like, that's the hardest question. I like everything. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I go everywhere.
Well, like after these guys went on hiatus, that bass player starts his own band. What were they? The Rentals? And it's all fucking Moogs, like 70s keyboards.
Oh,
just totally nerded out shit. It's not bad though.
Yeah, I've just been diving deep into so many different things. But yeah, it's like it's so weird to me when someone's like, "Oh, I only listen to this." It's like,
right.
Well,
when somebody says they don't listen to anything, it just blows my mind.
Or they're like, "Oh, I just like pop." It's like, "What?"
Like, so you just flip that little knob and anything that spews out at you, you're just like, "I'm cool with this."
Like, I'm like, dude, I can't be in my house with silence. Music has to be playing.
Oh, and I used to be like almost like OCD about that too. Like back in lacrosse, we'd go to a bar and they'd drag me to one of those bars where they were playing shit I hated. Like you could see me twitching. Like I gotta go. I can't listen to this. This is driving me fucking crazy. Like, dude, nobody's paying any attention to the music. Like I am. I gotta go.
It does enhance your bar experience when the music's great, for sure.
That's what I loved about old Chubb's Pub. Man, I wish you'd have been around back in the day for that one.
Chubb's Pub.
We had a bar a block and a half from our house. And oh man, I'd walk in there. Usually the bartenders would come up and hand me a fistful of cash and be like, "Get over to the jukebox before drunk Amy gets over there and plays all this fucking meatloaf and slow shit." Like, no, we can't have another night of her fucking crying. Like, go get Sublime.
Oh yeah, man. I always just like when I see guys who like killed it in like the 90s, early 2000s. It's like just. It's amazing because I feel like their journey was so much different than what you could do now. Like, you can just put your stuff on the internet and become giant.
Right. Well, even looking at the guys coming out of the 70s and 80s, because coming out of the 70s, there was more of this whole rock star model where the idea was you're going to be huge and fucking rich and famous. And it was generally, your label got all that.
Yeah.
So you'd end up burned out. All your money was gone. And, it was this whole fucking rock star mythos. And then by the time you get into the 90s, you see dudes kind of trying to shed that. Like, there's no delusions of they're not out there acting like I said, these, like you said, it looks like your buddies in the garage.
Yeah.
Button up shirt.
And it's like, they probably just like asked a bar to start playing, and then someone saw them and they're like, "Hey, come play here." It's just like the journey was so much different back then, and you really had to be much more dedicated.
Yeah, just to even be noticed.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know. I don't even know if they make bands anymore. Do people still play guitars?
Oh yeah.
I said my buddy said that a couple of years ago. He's like, I've been trying to find new bands. He's like, I'm having a real fucking hard time finding anybody that plays.
Well, like the Marcus King guy I showed you, and all those guys are still. Those guys are great.
And Maddie really shows me a lot of shit now. Anytime I'm on Spotify and I find a guy, I'm like, "Hey, have you heard this?" She's like, "Yes, we know that." I just bought Dean Ween Band's last album.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, it's basically all of Ween, except for the other guy who does vocals.
Guys.
So it's basically exactly what you'd think. It's Ween more guitar driven without the lyrics.
Those guys got a very interesting. Yeah, I seen that you posted that, and I went and looked at it online.
Yeah, they definitely play like a unit in that one. So it totally sounds like Ween, only like half the songs are instrumentals. Like, I don't think Diener tries to pretend he's a great lyricist, and I appreciates that.
All you gotta do is believe you're a good lyricist.
Oh, he's just an amazing fucking guitar player, though. So it's like, I don't care. He could scream fucking blah, 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 butthole the whole time. Like, sounds good to me. You hear the tone he's getting on that guitar? Like,
yeah,
there's
I've really been digging guitars and stuff lately a lot more. Like, appreciating the art.
Well, and like I said, it's really the tone that some of these guys get out of that machine. It's like, God damn, like there's a few solos he has on that album that it's like, I want a golf clap. The sound he gets is so amazing. Oh, what else did I buy? I found, it's hilarious. This website that I had to join to get a record for Maddie for Christmas sends me, there's a special on this album. It's Phosphorescent. They did a whole album of Willie Nelson covers. Normally, I'm not a big cover guy, but I actually kind of like all of them. And it was like $12. I was like, oh, holy shit. So when I got in there, that's when I found that Dean Ween group, colored vinyl. Well, when I went to order it, I realized the vinyl was out of Australia, which made my order like $70 because it was almost $40 for shipping.
Jesus.
So finally I was like, fuck it. I'll skip that. Well, by the time I took that off and went to order Phosphorescent, it was out of stock. I was like, you got to be shitting me. So I ended up getting on Amazon and found it for $16, which would have been basically the same cost with the shipping. And then I ended up tacking on another one I'd been looking for, that Plants and Animals. I was like, sweet, fuck. And then as soon as I got it ordered, they sent me an email that it was back in stock. Like, you fuckers lost a sale.
I haven't really been looking at too much vinyls or anything. Just been exploring random stuff on Spotify and stuff.
Yeah, no, I wasn't even looking either until they sent me that email, and I was like, "Fuck, $12 for that album." And so I got that and Plants and Animals, the end of that, which
Nice.
I've been looking for forever. So that's one that's
That-
off my list.
Plants and Animals. That's a good one.
Yeah, a great spring album. Can't wait to fire it up.
It's funny when you kind of got me into doing that too. You're like, yeah, great. It's like Liney. It's like, yeah, great hot summer beer. They're like, what are you talking about? like,
It ain't an every time beer.
it's the vibe, It's music's the same way. It's like, yeah, it's a great, vibing
Right.
in the sun song.
It hits 90. Give me a fruity beer and crank up Sublime. I'm ready to roll.
Yep. Put on the
Gets-
smoker. Throw some pork in that bitch.
Right? Gets back down into the 60s. Throw on some fucking Primus and give me a darker beer. I'll have a Marzen and a fucking Les Claypool solo.
Dark beers.
Yeah,
Such a love-hate relationship for me.
That's most of the darker ones. It's got to be cold out. I don't generally like a dark beer. If it's above 40, I'm probably out.
Yeah, I don't really touch them besides Oktoberfest, really.
I used to kind of, like, especially was it when Liney's came out with the Snowdrift Vanilla Porter. I used to get that early and then just wait for that big snow. And oh man, it's so good when that weather gets that cold. But as it warms up, and no, thank you.
Yeah, like when we went to Capitol Brewery, I actually liked all their dark beers. That was nice.
Yeah, and they're starting to do like more dunkels and dark ales, so it's not quite the same, yeast. You can get a lot of variations on them anymore. I like mine sweeter if they're going to be that dark, but a lot of people like just that bitter. Like I can't do that either. Like I'm not a big Guinness fan at all.
No, I do not like Guinness either.
But you give me a shake, I think it's called. It's a porter out of like, I don't know, somewhere in Colorado.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's they got that milkshake creamy finish. And there's one out of Point too. Point Milkshake, I think that's called, is really good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so like all over the place. I don't even know like what my favorite type of beer is still. I just jumps all over.
You got to come to Brews and Blues this year.
Oh, yeah, I know. I seen you sent me that. I definitely will this year.
I've got most of the list together. I think the last thing I just have to look at some IPAs because I thought I'll do those fucking last. Because I don't want to get a boatload of them. We're pretty well balanced. There's some good variation. Like I'd get like ales, and I'd get one with like 10 IBUs, one with 25, one with 35, one with 60. So you could try different ales and see what you thought of the different bitterness on them. And
I definitely try all of them for sure.
Yeah, hopefully. I talked to the distributor, and he seems to think pretty much everything I'm trying to order I should be able to get a hold of this year.
Nice.
Yeah, last year it was a crapshoot, but
yeah,
I
wasn't
sent
it
it
like
right
raining and stuff?
No, last year the weather was pretty decent. I just didn't get 20% of what I put in for an order.
Oh yeah.
But I guess I ordered
your beers.
It wasn't so many, but like I think I tried ordering shit out of season, like some Oktoberfest beers that you're just not going to get in June. So I think I just kind of have to adjust my order accordingly.
Yeah, I'll definitely. When is that?
I think June 18th. I'm still trying to get that Joe Thomas Kolsch, but I never got an answer from him on it. Joe Thomas used to play for the Badgers.
I actually don't think I know him.
Then he was on the Browns forever. Like,
how long ago?
He just retired a couple of years ago. Can't remember what brewery it is. It might be a Lake something. He did like a collaboration with them where he did a something 73 Kolsch, and I couldn't get it last year. So I asked him straight up, what are my odds? And I'm guessing the no reply means I'm probably not getting it.
Yeah, nothing back.
Yeah, I don't know about a Kolsch either, though. I think those are generally a spring beer too, but that's probably going to be a deal of if they run out of supply by June.
Yeah.
A Kolsch
So-
is just an ale that they lager for 3 months.
Oh, okay. I was
So
gonna say I
it's-
don't even know what that really is either.
I didn't either until I fucking made one, and I was like, really? That's the difference? So I could take my County K ale, lower the temperature, and keep it, like down near freezing for 3 months, and it comes out in spring as a Kolsch.
Interesting.
Yeah, I actually made one a few years ago with the hops I grew out back, and it was pretty good. But I didn't want to call it County K Kolsch because that alliteration doesn't come across so good.
Yeah. Definitely not.
So that's when I decided I'd start naming all the different varieties for back roads off of County K.
Yeah, that's actually a great idea, honestly.
So that was the Pine Knob Kolsch. I wanted to actually find somebody who lives on County K and has a well. I wanted to get their well water to make that beer as authentic as possible.
That would be actually pretty cool for sure.
I should get back on that. Of course, to make it really authentic, I'd have to use shitty Fleshman's baking yeast that doesn't belong in beer. So I don't think I want to be that authentic.
Fleshman's baking yeast.
That's what he used. 3 cakes of yeast.
That,
Like,
of course, it's Fleshman's that makes that.
right? Like, man, I can imagine making beer back then.
Oh yeah, it's like how?
And getting hops from probably some guy that's growing them down the road, because it's not like you would have just gone to a brewing shop back then.
Yeah,
Like, who was selling hops around here in the 60s, 70s? Like,
yeah. I feel like probably around here it was probably just like grain alcohol, you know?
well, I say I got his exact recipe, so I just am not sure where he sourced all of this shit. The malt I'm not sure about. I said the hops almost had to be just some guy he knew that was growing hops. And I said, we know it's Fleshman's cake yeast. So,
Growing hops kind of sounds fun.
well, they're easy as shit to grow, but the pain in the
Yes.
ass comes when you got to harvest and dry them and the whole deal. That's the last.
Yeah, I was reading a thing. It was a guy who was like, "Oh yeah, my maid came in and he was like weighing out stuff. He's like, I promise I'm not a drug dealer. So he probably thinks I'm fucking a massive drug dealer or something. He's just weighing out hops and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was like, I've done that out in the backyard.
It's so crazy how deep you can go into brewing, like just at home even.
Right. Like, I don't even do all grain. I have the pre-made malt. I said the hops is a nice touch, but it's such a pain in the ass. You got to go pick them, then you got to dry them somehow.
Just a massive extra step.
Yeah, when it's like, I can just go buy this for like $3, right? But it's something to be said for having. The other thing is, if you're growing your own, you don't know how much alpha acid is in it unless you're getting it tested. I mean, you have a pretty good idea on the range if you know what strain you're growing, that it is generally in this window, but you don't know if you're at the high end or low end.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that, like all the random, like kind of nutrients and stuff that you wouldn't
Right.
be able to measure.
Depending on what soil you're using.
Definitely would make a big difference.
So they're really good to use at the back end just for the flavor and the smell. But if you're trying, it's hard to use them for bittering because you really don't know.
Yeah.
And I said, most of the shit I grow doesn't get a lot of alpha acid anyway. What? What's your deal? Woof, I see
He's
you.
pissed.
Like, this is my food, brother.
Begging for food.
Yep, that's got to be
Little
it.
bastard.
Back to normal. Looking at me, whining. Hey, you got pizza, don't you? It's got pepperonis, huh? Yeah, I got good smelling. I knew that. You ain't got to tell me. You gonna let me have some? Sam Squinch, Ricky.
Oh man, Trailer Park Boys. Haven't watched that in a while.
No, I turned the I started the movie on Tubi a couple weeks ago. I love those fucking free TV apps. They're so awesome.
Yeah, they are. I just steal everything on the internet.
I just watched 2 seasons of Battlestar Galactica from 1978 and 79.
Nice.
And then when it got to 80, it was a whole different thing. And I found out that it got canceled and like rebooted at like a much cheaper cost. and I was like retroactively mad about a cancellation that happened 40 years ago. Like, oh, how could you do that?
Oh god. Back in the day, it'd probably be way worse too. If you liked the show and it doesn't come on, like, oh shit, I guess.
Well, yeah, I guess there was like a letter writing campaign, which didn't really, happen back then, and it must have worked because they rebooted it, but they like brought back less than a quarter of the cast, all the special effects budget, a whole new storyline. They did. It was like, ah, man, this sucks. I pasted on fucking beard. Like, I'm out.
TV is all you had back then. Like, you couldn't just go on the internet and watch it.
3 goddamn channels, and maybe some bullshit on UHF broadcasting out of a shack somewhere nearby. But yeah, there was nothing, man. You had 3 goddamn shows to pick from.
You had to fist fight your siblings for the TV.
Manually changing that shit, man.
Oh man.
But I was trying to explain to
what's
my
some
kid
other weird old shit that entertainment back in the day was so much different. You just went outside, really.
Right? Look, go get a stick. As your age, we figured out how to have fun with a stick.
Right? You're like, this looks like a shotgun.
Yeah, you'll go get you a stick, and then we'll both have one.
Yeah,
I do remember doing shit like that.
Yep.
Hey, you want to roll down this hill? Yes, I do. Now the idea of rolling down a hill to the point of nausea, just thinking about it makes my stomach go. Like, how could you do that when you were a kid? Like, you were just immune to rolling down a hill?
Now that you say that, yeah, that's so weird.
It was like, hey, let's see how many times we can spin around until we both fucking fall down and crash to the earth. Oh, okay. Like, if there's another person doing it, I guess I'm in. We'll see who lasts longer. That's all of humanity, man. You can make a game out of fucking anything. You got somebody else to participate.
Shit, it felt like half the stuff we did back then was just like on the verge of getting seriously fucked up.
Well, that's what it was. How close can you get to the edge of... Oh, man.
We just like put pillows on the stairs and stuff. Like, first person to fucking ride the laundry basket down the stairs wins. Just did stupid shit.
Like, I cracked his head open. Oh, he goes to the end of the line. That's a disqualification.
Everyone's like, it's his own fault anyway.
Somebody goes through the drywall, and then you fucking hear about it.
Yep.
I told you not to do that.
Or back then, asbestos, basically. It's just so weird to think about, like, when you didn't just have something to do at home. Because you just have so much you can do at home now.
Well, I was just thinking that the other day, like, getting control of the, like, you might have had video games, but then you had to get control of the TV to be able to put the video games on. So it was like, not only, well, could you play it, but were they going to give up the TV? You got to go through mom and like, Mom.
And then you better hope the TV has channel 3 set up, because
right? Use the one downstairs. It's black and white. I can't see Shinobi falling down the fucking pit to his death. Kill the little virtual ninja, Mom.
Yeah, so you had to put the channel on channel 3 to load the game.
Yeah.
So odd.
Well, and that's what I was thinking about, too. It's like, do you know how many mismatched segments of Star Trek The Next Generation I've seen? Because that was always what was on channel 3 when I'd turn off Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. Dude.
It's like, whatever was on 3, I guess.
I remember, like, when I was a kid, MXC, that, like, Japanese show was always on.
Oh, yeah.
Where people were just getting fucked up.
I love that.
That's a classic.
Yeah, like I said, you can get people to sign up for anything. If you got more than one person doing it, you got a game.
Oh, yeah.
Like one year at the euchre tournament, before it started, 2 guys were sitting at Mom's bar, and they invented some kind of game where you'd take the beer bottle top, sit it upside down, and you'd have to slap down at the table and flip it with your fingers, and they were trying to land it on different shit. And by the time they got going, pretty soon everybody's surrounding them. They got like 6 people in on this game. It's like, holy shit, this just came out of nowhere. It's literally they were waiting to play cards, and now we've got a sport.
Yeah, that's kind of how that happens too. Like you just sit around and are like, fuck it, let's play games. Just make something up, and all of a sudden everyone's like balls deep in it, trying to figure out how to win.
Like, get a GoPro. We're gonna market this shit. I have white people everywhere doing this.
Oh man. Especially if you were drinking and you were younger, you just come up with the stupidest shit and somehow it'd be fun.
Oh yeah, anything. Or dudes having the fucking racing through the cigarette, the drag race.
Oh god.
It's like, okay, that's like...
I've completely forgot about doing shit like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Dumb shit. It's that new South Park the other day where the teenagers... What are you doing? Burning my hand with this lighter. Oh, dude. Oh, it hurts so bad. Oh, I'm holding it right over the flame.
I remember one of my buddies never smoked a cigarette. I think someone gave him a dip.
Oh.
He got murdered.
Oh yeah, when you see him just lose all color.
He was like laying on the ground. He's like, "Is this what tobacco feels like?" I was like, "No, dude, that is not good."
I ate the whole thing. It was so chewy. I didn't like it.
Yeah, just thinking about like when you first gave your friends like weed and shit, the stupid shit they would do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was a few times like where you get like one of my new friends high for the first time and they couldn't even like function. They thought they were like dying.
Well, and I miss the big fucking paranoia, man, because that's what's going to be. I told my buddy that a while ago. It's like, that's going to be our badge of honor. Like, you realize in 20 years, we're going to be sitting at the bar going, you fucking kids. Now, back when I smoked weed, you get fucking arrested. They'd take your whole life away. You'd lose your job, couple of joints. You fucking pussies. You go down to the corner store and buy a pack. Like, woo.
I can already say, back in my day, you could buy cigarettes at 18.
Right? Oh, God. I still remember doing that. Like, the prices are still like, I remember cigarettes being $2.
Yeah.
40 ounces were $2.
It's crazy. Like, so even just in my time period, like the difference in prices and stuff.
I mean, man, with 40 ounces, you could send somebody to a liquor store with $5 and you knew you were going to get fucking hammered.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely destroy. I remember when Four Locos came out, you'd buy 2 of those, you'd drink them, and you'd end up in the front yard the next day.
Like, I'm going to get hammered and get change back from my 5.
You fucking teleported.
I never have drank one of those. I don't even know what they are.
Yeah, they were crazy when they first came out. They dumbed them down like now.
Energy with alcohol?
Yeah, but like it wasn't even like it was definitely it was basically like a 25% alcohol that tastes like fruit.
Oh, it was like Mad Dog in a can.
You would just drink 1 or 2 of them and get fucked.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with the energy, like people always claim that, but it would just get you super drunk.
Like, now, did you guys ever do like the Mad Dog 2020 in the fucking Boone's Farm?
No.
What's that? Like that when the cheap wine phase. You get that cheap ass fruity wine.
And then what do you do with it?
You just drink it. I mean, they were like a couple of bucks a bottle of Mad Dog, man.
We get like those bags of wine.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'd play like slap bag where you you hold up it and everyone slaps it and fucking you just chug it. It's called slap bag.
I was gonna say, it sounds like you're just chugging it with an extra bit of pomp and circumstance attached.
You'd run up, you'd slap the bag, and the dude would have to. He'd just open up the spout, and you'd stand under it, and you'd.
I guess that adds an element of participation.
Yeah, it makes it fun. It definitely makes it fun.
I think one of the best games we ever invented. We went camping at Potosi years ago, and my buddy brought bocce ball, but it was like 102 degrees and all humidity, so you couldn't even stand in the sun to play bocce ball. So we invented a game called Cherbocce, where you would sit in a chair. White bocce ball, you would sit on top of a beer bottle. It would sit right in the top.
Yeah.
And then everybody sat around in their chair in like a half circle in the shade, and you'd have to roll your bocce ball as close to the bottle as you could get without knocking the top off. And then whoever got closest won the round, but whoever lost the round had to go pick them all up. It's like only one dumb asshole standing up in this heat.
Yeah, we always played beer darts when it was super hot out.
Oh yeah, you told me about that. I never played that either.
So fun.
Huh.
Yeah, you just get darts with metal tips and you sit in a giant circle, put the beers out in front of you. Just if you hit their beer, you pick it up and drink it to where you hit it,
Man, yeah, that'd be worth getting around to that going at Rontoberfest.
Oh yeah, that's the best game. It's so fun. But yeah, you get
dog inside for that
super fucking drunk on that.
Oh, I bet.
Because, like, what ends up happening is if someone gets fucked a few times, everyone starts going for them, and then you don't want to be that person.
Oh, man. Well, I could tell just playing Hammerschlag how much people just started drinking more.
Yeah, I told you that was a hit, wasn't it?
Everybody loved that.
Yeah, that's a fun-ass game.
Yeah, I think I'm going to move that stump next year to a better location. But yeah, that was a big hit. And really, the women, I was worried we wouldn't get enough women to have segregated games, but it turns out they can just play with the men. They're not really at a disadvantage.
No, it's a lot harder than people think. Like, if you play how the rules where you have to, like, bring it over your head, the guys aren't going to be any better,
Just once you get 3 beers in you. Because the first time I played it, I was stone cold sober, and I went whack, whack. And it was like, well, that sucks. That was easy. The next time I played, I had 6 beers.
You're supposed to have the hammer, like, touching your back before you hit. Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to line it up or anything, You're supposed to be...
I just told them they had to lift over their head.
Yeah. Because, like, yeah, you can go up and still see and kind of line it up. You're supposed to, like, get it out of your view of your eyes.
Right. But, I mean, like I said, I took it out in 2 swings, and the next time I played, I couldn't hit the fucking nail.
Yeah, I mean...
And then sometimes, it was hit the edge 4 times.
Yeah, sometimes you can just nail it and just put it in one hit. But
right.
And then next thing you know, you're 4 beers deep and your nail sideways.
Swings. Come on, nail.
Yeah, your nail sideways and you're just trying to hammer it in.